Hello everyone, it's Chanel with Color Me Stylish, and I wanted to come back this week with a new video just to kind of recap on the video I did last week. So I'll kind of place it up here so you can guys have an idea, but last week I spoke about just some of my favorite perfumes, where to buy them, and also how to save money on them. But I also was speaking on, I love to smell good myself, but I'm also obsessed about my home smelling good as well, and that's what this video is about. So if you are new, thank you so much for joining me and stopping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I love doing videos on fashion, lifestyle, and of course skincare, which I love, and makeup. So if that interests you, go ahead and stick around forever. I would love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into this video. This week, I kind of wanted to just talk about some different ways to make your home smell good. So as you guys know, I am all about smelling good. I love perfumes, and like I said, I did a whole video last week talking about that, and I'll share that again up here. But I'm obsessed with my home smelling good. So we do a lot of travel as a family, and I just love how hotels always smell so good. They just do such a great job of making the lobby smell good, your rooms smell good, and they just, even if you're walking outside, they'll even be pumping things through the air just to kind of add to that whole ambiance and that experience. And so I like to come home and either try to find something that's similar, just to kind of keep that vacation mode going, or just something similar, in general, just to make it smell good. So starting with the first things that I love to use. So I don't have them right now. I'm in the process of ordering some, but what I'll do is I'll add them to the screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But I love using scent bags, or these are more, air purifying bags, but it's more for your closet, it's for your clothes. So these bags are just fantastic because you can add them to just your, lingerie drawer, if that's what you have, underwear drawer, just keeping it real, or just any drawer, anything in the house, sock drawers. I like to put these especially in my kids' rooms, my son's room. He is almost a teenager and the funk has begun. And so just kind of sticking that in his sock drawer, just underneath his bed. I stick it everywhere. I stick things everywhere just because they work so well. And what's great about these bags is if you don't like a heavy perfume smell, but you just want things to smell just a little bit more fresher, more cleaner, this is a really great option, especially if you are sensitive to different fragrances and things like that. Now, starting off, we're just kind of sticking onto right now the more traditional ways that I like to use in the house. My kids, my husband, he does have some sensitivity to certain things, so I don't like to use a lot of heavy soaps, things like that. But I've tested a lot of things to make sure that that would be okay for his skin, and so these are the products that I like to use. So just kind of starting off with the more traditional route, something that's easy to find, very inexpensive, is of course Febreze. Like, who doesn't know or love Febreze and the smell? So I like to kind of pick mine up at Costco. Where we live, we're here in Mexico City, so you can find this online, you can find this in Costco, Amazon, of course, Target, that I just can't wait to get back to this summer to pick up things that I don't need. But this is just really good, and they do make different scents or formulas based on if you have pets, if you have something that you need a little bit stronger, like sports, and I like to use a sport one for my son's room. And then they have ones that are just like more April fresh, lavender, just different things like that, or even in, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but just like a lot of just different other scents that are super popular that everybody loves. So this is a really great way just to kind of go throughout the house, just to kind of spray around, refresh. When we have our house cleaned, or if I'm straightening up, things like that, I like to just kind of go behind and just kind of spray this around just to have that lingering effect and make things smell really good. So I think that's just kind of my thing. Definitely is, my friends kind of know, like, that's Chanel, like she has to have you know, her house smelling good and she has to smell good. I don't know, but I'm just obsessed with things smelling good, smelling fresh, and just smelling just fancy. I don't know, that's like my thing. I really like that. The traditional route is just going with candles. I love candles as well. This one, as you can see, is definitely used. I just like, you know, the ambience of just lighting the candles and just having them in the living room, or when we have guests over, because it's just something that I can just like light, and then that smell just kind of goes throughout the air. And of course, there's just different options from high end to low end, mid-range, and just different options that they may have on Amazon, things like that. So with candles, you can go as high or as low as you want to go, just to kind of have that scent and that desire of the ambiance and the mood that you are going for. Another option that I really like to use, and a lot of these come, this is like by Glade. So these are like the little inserts that you can put inside, and you can change them. You can find different scents, things like that. I don't know, I have a thing for lavender. I love scents. I love the home smelling good, but I don't like it to smell too frou-frou, if that makes sense, too fruity or too floral. I like just a nice clean base. And so I tend to go for a lot of lavenders, a lot of vanillas when I do purchase these. And what's great is these are great inserts, so you just kind of open these up and then you just add them inside. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen these in the stores, things like that, but it's just something that you don't have to think about it too much. Once it's in here and you set the timer of, you know, you want it to be every 9 minutes, 18 minutes, a half an hour, or once every hour. I think I have mine set for once every hour. I think that's enough. But I can just kind of place these around the house, and it can just kind of do its own thing until I hear the sound where you can tell nothing's being sprayed out, and then you know to change it. So again, this is a really great inexpensive option just to kind of add that fragrance and whatever smell that you're looking for in the home. And you can kind of place these in just different areas, and they run off of batteries, which is really nice too, so you don't have to, you know, plug in anything, you know, so it's just, it makes it a little bit more safer, or when you're on vacation, things like that. So again, it's just, we like to kind of close down. We're in a condo, so it does get warm here in Mexico City, but we don't necessarily want to crack or leave windows open when we do travel. So it's just really nice that right when you come back in from your vacation, the house smells good, it's been cleaned right before you left, so you just get to walk into that zen instead of immediately feeling that stress of, okay, I just came back from vacation and now I need to clean the house. So this is just a really great option. And then going still on the just more traditional route for smelling good in the home. So this is another option that I love to use. And again, I like to pick up these large packs from Costco, just because you get a really great deal, and I'm all about a really great deal. And so this is by Airwick. And so what I love about these, let me just kind of open this up and kind of pull these out. Again, I kind of always tend to stay on the same kind of scents in the house, just because I like that lavender, more of a clean scent. But these are really nice. It kind of comes like this. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen these before, but I'm a huge fan of these. But you just kind of like insert that, and the smell comes out of here, and you just kind of plug it in to different places in the house. And what's great about these is you can kind of just turn this around. So I'll just kind of show that so you guys can kind of see it's not too blurry. And here in Mexico, a lot of ours plugs are this way, so it's really nice that it's just, you know, it just adapts to where you need it to be, so it can just kind of stick in, or if you just have a wonky plug. And so again, I like to get the ones that have the lavender scents, or, you know, just more of like the vanilla, things like that, just to kind of go throughout the house. And sometimes I'll put one in one room, this in another, and then you can just start to smell that, you know, they just kind of like blend together, and it just creates a really beautiful scent. So I also love to keep these in my closet, just to kind of, again, have that really nice smell going. It's just fresh and it's really clean, things like that. So these are definitely my favorites. This is by Airwick, but again, there's so many different options, and I'll kind of share with that on the screen of just nice plugins. They have really fun ones from Bath and Body Works. If you love those scents and you want to carry that through to the house, if you love, you know, spraying yourself with those fragrances or showering, again, it's all about layering to make it last. So if that's something that you're like, I really have a favorite scent in this, you know, style or in Bath and Body Works, they definitely have those same scents in these diffusers as well that you can plug in. And then what's great too is, yes, of course, I put these in my car. So there's ones, you know, for Breeze, just all Airwick. There's so many different options, and I'll kind of share what those look like as well, just to kind of clip into your car to kind of keep that smell just fresh and clean. Again, I have my kids, their friends of friends. I'm forever Uber driving people someplace and giving somebody a ride. And sometimes it's just after they finished a sport, or they finished school, or they finished just running around, and they jump in the car and I'm like, nope. So it happens, but at least I can kind of just, again, keep that scent going. Now going into the home scents and things that can be not as cost effective. Sometimes it just depends on what you're buying. So again, these are things that you can buy from just different stores, Nordstrom, Saks. Again, it can be super high end, and I'll give you guys some examples, things like that. Or it can just be something that is a little bit more cost effective. And you can also do your DIY option as well. So just kind of going into which are some of my favorites are wood diffusers. So I love to pick this up. This one is actually from Zara Home. So I'll kind of just share with you guys what that looks like, and I still have some left. And then it kind of comes with the bottle, and then these like wood sticks to kind of diffuse the air or the scent into the air. But this smells, it's like when you walk into a Zara, this scent is already in the air, and that's how I kind of got caught onto these. Is I was like, this store just always smells so incredibly good, and it just reminded me of a hotel, or I'll share with some images of you guys just hotels and how they tend to just leave that scent in the air, and just different ways that they style that just to kind of blend in, but that okay, hotels have their signature scents. And even from Amazon, they have like signature scents that'll even say, the hotel collection, or, just different things like that. So this is a really great option just to kind of give that scent in the air. It is a little bit stronger. So again, if you are sensitive, you can look for different scents, things like that. And I'll try to include some options more for cleaner or more for sensitive. And again, you can kind of make your own. But this is just a really great option just to kind of have that hotel scent, that luxurious scent, just spread out throughout your house. So I will say that wood diffusers definitely don't last as long as, say, the ones that you plug into the wall. So these will kind of last me, and because our temperature is a little bit more warmer here, I've noticed since leaving the US and moving here, because of the temperature, I feel like these tend to go or finish a little bit faster, if that makes sense, versus like something that's, or an area that's a little bit more cold, even though it's plugged in. I just find that very interesting. But again, this will still last me a month. This will probably last me probably 3 weeks. Probably 3 weeks. Maybe that's a little bit longer than a month. Maybe a month and a half. Cutting it close, but this is definitely a lot faster, only because the base of the liquid is made with alcohol a lot of times, and so that evaporates. This is another option that they have, and this is the ginger lily. This one is finished, but I like to kind of save the bottles, because I'll kind of explain in a minute what I plan on doing with this. I am going to try it, but again, this is an amazing scent. You can still smell a little bit of it, but this one definitely had more of a deeper vanilla musk scent. And so this was a really great option. And then they even have ones that are tailored towards men. And so it just definitely has more of a deeper wood musk scent. It smells so nice, and I like to get those sometimes and just kind of put them on my husband's side of the closet, just so his side smells like that expensive room where you get dressed in at a fancy department store, things like that. So there's just so many different options out there for wood diffusers, and these are one of my favorites to kind of keep the house smelling that continuous smell, smelling luxurious, smelling like a hotel, and that's just one of my favorite things. Okay, so going into the home scents itself. So I'll kind of place some, examples again on the screen. So if wood diffusers, or if you feel like, okay, I've been using wood diffusers, but again, they're just, maybe they go too fast, or I just want to keep a scent, not for all the time, but maybe when I do have guests coming over, or I just made the bed and I just, did the room and I just want to refresh certain areas, things like that really quickly. So just home scents, which is almost kind of like a home perfume, are available too. So there just are so many different options, again, from high-end to mid-range. Amazon has different options as well. And then again, if you want to just do something more of like a Febreze home scent, or you just want to do like just different styles, there's just so many different options. This is one I recently picked up from Zara. So this is the White Jasmine, and again, it smells really good. It's like almost like a nice perfume bottle. It has that same kind of like spritz, and it smells amazing. This one has a, you know what, I'm gonna have to look up the notes, but this one, it just smelling it off the top of my head, and I'm no professional, definitely has like a woodsy amber vanilla musk type of smell. It's just a little bit more richer, a little bit more deeper, but it's still light. That something like this, which I do love, is I can just kind of spray this in the room, one side, the other side, 2 spritz, and I'm finished. And so the great thing about something like this is I like to just kind of keep this after I've, just kind of straightened up my room, or we have guests coming over, so I'll spritz the room, and then I'll go upstairs, I'll spritz, the upstairs as well, in the living room, dining room, just so when the guests come over, they're kind of like, wow, it just smells really good. A great thing with these as well that I love to do is if you have artificial plants or flowers in the house, these are really great just to kind of spray those, just because you're spraying into a fabric that you're not going to wear, so you don't have to worry about it, causing any sensitivity or allergic reaction directly to your skin, or you may not want it directly on where you're going to put your head or your body in bed, things like that. So one of my tricks that I love to do is we have like some kind of lilies that are fake in our bedroom that are really nice, and I just love to kind of spray that. Or upstairs we have just different flowers, and so I'll kind of just spray those artificial ones, and it just kind of has that lingering scent. So especially if I am hosting and I'm kind of busy, maybe cooking, preparing things, getting appetizers together, and then it's like I don't want the last minute, I'm trying to spray and then people have to just walk right into that cloud. I will kind of just, as I'm preparing, maybe an hour before, 2 hours before, I'll just go through the house and spray like artificial flowers, things like that. So it's just kind of lingering. So by the time, guests come over, it's just in the air. It has that scent. You can't pinpoint it, but it's just fresh. It's beautiful. So this is a really great option. And again, because of the scents, some are lighter than others. It just tends to last a little bit longer with the home fragrances, or the sprays. So this is a really great option. This is honestly the first time, or probably the second time, and I don't know why I wasn't doing it before, that I did a home fragrance. I guess because I had a whole artillery of other fragrances, things like that, and I would always do the wood diffusers, but I'm just kind of going back to realizing the home sprays are where it's at, just because I feel like sometimes they're a little bit more concentrated, and they just tend to have that lingering scent that you want. So this is a really great option. So going into just some other options that you can use, again, just to diffuse the scent in your home if that is something that really interests you and you just love doing and you don't want to have to get around to it all the time or be bothered by it every single day. So I'll kind of add some like images to the screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, but using an oil diffuser. So you know, the ones that kind of come out and it's got that little mist, those are always great. And then you can kind of just get that array of those essential oils and just kind of add to that so it diffuses, you know, that scent throughout the house. And what's great about those oil diffusers is you can mix the scents. So if you love having like a nice eucalyptus with a mint and a lavender, I've done that kind of combination in our bedroom before, just to kind of like relax. Me and my husband are just catching up on our favorite shows and we're in bed. We came down an hour early and we're just relaxing. I like to surprise him so that when he comes downstairs, it smells like a spa. He just loves it. And then he tends to sleep a lot better. We both do. So that's always a really great option, is you can even tailor your scents to the way that you want to relax and just kind of chill out. And again, with those oil diffusers, things like that, if that's something that you want to keep in the living room, it can be vanilla or it can be, again, mint. I love adding lemon and orange together, so it kind of gives that energetic, you know, just really good smell. And that's something that you can maybe keep in the kitchen or living room, dining room. So with oil diffusers, things like that, you can tailor that to be anything that you like, any combination, and just kind of have it in different places in the house. Some other tricks that I've picked up from Pinterest, and again, if you're too sensitive, if it feels too much, you know, these are just like some little, you know, ideas, things like that to kind of keep in mind, or if you just have guests, things like that, you don't want to keep going into the room that they're using. But even those Febreze little blue clips that you can kind of keep in your car, you can actually, if you have like the vents in the floor of your house, we don't have those here because it's all tile here in Mexico City, so we don't have the heat coming up, but we did have that when we were in the States. And so I'll definitely try that when we go back, but be careful of carpet if you do have that, or even wood, but you can kind of place it in the middle, but you can just kind of clip those to the vent, and that as the air is blowing, either the heat or the AC, things like that, it blows, you know, past that scent, you know, the clip in like that you would use in your car, and it just kind of puts the air or that scent in the air as well. So that's another tip. And then another tip is, even if you have like, so we have a split. We have those here in Mexico City, our AC units, and they do have different like filters, things like that. This one does have like more of a metal type of a filter, but it, you know, there are some that have more of like that fabric style. I'll share with you guys like an image of what I'm talking about, but that's something that you can kind of even add like 2 to 3 drops of your favorite essential oil, and then place that filter back, and that kind of gets emitted into the air. So that's a little fun little Pinterest hack, if you will, if that's something that you wanted to try. Going into some of the other ideas that I have, the first one that I love doing, I tend to do it more on the holidays, but I need to do it more often all the time. I think I'm just in and out of the house so much that I'm just not always at home, but I just need to get on it. I need to do it more often. But for Christmas, and then also especially for Thanksgiving, when I know I have like a lot of people coming over, things like that, one of my favorite things to do, and I'll kind of incorporate a photo, is taking a pot of water and just kind of putting that on the lowest boil ever, and then just going ahead and cutting up either some lemon, some orange, some cinnamon sticks, fresh lavender, fresh mint. You can just add whatever combination you want, not all together, but one of my favorites, and I'll kind of include some scents to kind of mix to kind of get some ideas. But you can kind of just place that in the pot, and then as that starts to heat up super slowly, it just emits the most beautiful, fresh scent throughout the whole house. So again, if you find that a lot of these diffusers, perfumes, sprays, things like that are just a little bit too much or not as natural as you would like them to be, this is an amazing option to freshen the home before you have guests. So getting towards the end almost. So one of my other things that I love to do, one of my other tricks, is I love scent beads. So you know, they have like the ones from Gain, everybody loves that scent, or you can do Downy, and there's just so many, and I'll kind of add the ones that I love to use, or just kind of give you guys some ideas. But scent beads are fun. So if you, again, don't necessarily want to just put them into, you know, the laundry because maybe you have sensitive skin, or you don't want your, you know, you just don't want that in the laundry rubbing up against your clothes, then another option is you can get those little satin bags that you can get from a craft store, Michael's, online, things like that, and you can kind of add the scent beads to them, kind of just tighten that, and then it's just there. That scent is going through the whole area that you put them in. So for me, I love to put them in my drawers because I don't have sensitive skin, so I don't mind, you know, that scent going in my laundry or just staying in my drawers, things like that, just to kind of omit that smell. But again, if you don't want it rubbing against clothes, but you love the scent, taking those scent bags and just kind of hanging them in different parts of the closet, or again, if your kids are not too sensitive to that, you can just add those to their different drawers, to their backpack, to their gym bag. You can even put them inside their shoes, just different things like that. And one of my favorite things to do with those scent bags that I create is when we're traveling, I drop them, at least 2, into each suitcase. It just kind of add to that freshness when you get to your destination. Lastly, and I'll kind of incorporate a website. I was kind of doing some research last night on Pinterest in some different areas on the wide internet, just to kind of come up with, I love wood diffusers myself, so can I make them myself? And so again, I was kind of thinking, I love excuse me, using perfumes, things like that. This is like one of the new ones that I purchased that I shared with you guys last week. This is Versace Bright Crystal. I love the scent. This one's definitely a lot more like floral, a little bit more girly. I just love this scent right here. But I'm thinking, can I turn this into a diffuser somehow? And so I was just kind of doing some research, and again, that's why I like to take or keep a lot of the empty diffusers after they are finished. But a great option that you can use is that I was kind of personally thinking, and I will add some, you know, information to the screen, is you can kind of just come up with your own recipe on either the water that is mixed and has been boiled already with, say, the lavender, the lemon, the cinnamon stick, and then just kind of pouring it into this and letting that smell just kind of continue on. And then the great thing about that is you can add a little bit of alcohol to it. Some people use vodka. I think I still have some vodka in the house, I think. Or you could even use rubbing alcohol, things like that. I think what the rubbing alcohol does is it intensifies the smell and just kind of helps it to kind of come up to the wood and just diffuse into the air. And that's a lot of the base of when you read the ingredients for diffusers, is they use like an alcohol base. A lot of times, if you don't want to use an alcohol base, you can use a petroleum, or not petroleum, sorry, don't use petroleum, but more of an oil base. So some people will take like organic almond oil and then add their different scents. You can add essential oils and kind of mix those scents together and just kind of add a little bit of water and kind of mix that, and then that's something that you can use in the house. Again, it's more cost effective. You're customizing it to the scent that you want, and then you can just have them throughout your room, your house, different places like that. But I was just kind of thinking that I am going to try that with perfume. So a lot of perfume, and of course get the perfume that you know is maybe almost done, or that is easy to find, or that you don't mind just kind of sacrificing a little bit to try this. So this one is a little bit new. I might just try this. I got this at a really great deal. I saved a lot of money on this, and so I don't mind, you know, kind of testing this out, just to, something that you can use just to kind of add and incorporate your favorite perfumes. Again, if you don't have time to get around to placing this on your body, or again, you love the scent but you're starting to realize, am I having like a skin sensitivity as we age? Just different things happen with our bodies and our skin. So you may love the scent, but you may not necessarily want it on your skin or on your clothes anymore. So that's just a really great option. And what I'll do is I'll incorporate a really great article that I found on just how to do that. So I know me explaining it myself is probably not as, you know, on point with what this article is going to give you in terms of the directions and things like that and how to properly do it. But, you know, after going over the article myself, I am definitely going to be incorporating that into my wood diffusers when they're finished. Because again, I have some that, you know, it's like you don't want to use the $500, you know, perfume that you just got for Mother's Day or for Christmas necessarily. But I love to use, you know, perfumes that may have a lot in there, and maybe I got them at a really great deal. Again, last week I kind of shared with you guys different ways to save money on buying perfumes. So I actually picked this one up at Costco. So they had a special that was going on for the past like 2 weeks, where they have this table and all of the different perfumes are like 45 bucks. I'm like snatch. And so that's really a great way, or just different places online that, you know, specialize in discount scents, things like that. So you can kind of turn those around like, oh, I love that scent, or I haven't smelled that in forever, but do I really want to wear it? Or do I just want to smell it? That's a really great option. So just different ideas just to for you guys to try. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I know that was jam-packed full of information, but I love to talk to you guys and just kind of get all of that information out. And I just really appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It just really helps YouTube to push out my videos, and just I thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you guys next week for a new video.